Hey everybody, it's Charlie from Swift Contractors Corner, and I'm a soup sandwich today, and I don't know what else to say. It is Tuesday, April 5th. Jeff is here. Look at that. And my music's still playing, so I should push that button. And it was great. I hit start and like things locked up, and then my face flashed up on the screen, and then the timer started, and
Well, Charlie, 11 up, 3 down.
man.
That's you.
I don't even know what to do right now, but whatever. So yeah, and look, we had like people there. There was like people, and then half of them disappeared, and now they're coming back slowly. So that's kind of cool. Yeah. I think people were like, "What just happened? Something weird just happened." But yeah, so here we are. It's a like I said, Tuesday, April 5, 22, 6 p.m.
Yeah.
So Brett Stewart was going to be here today, and then he said no. He's going to go, watch the kids or something like that. And we're like, whatever, kids, like they need watching and stuff. But that's cool. So Brett will be here next week.
Just give them a spray can and a lighter. They're good.
Right? Aquanet, yo. Man, the things you can do with Aquanet can and a lighter, I'm just saying, you could just do all kinds of.
There's a lot of guys on here, though, Charlie. They're too young to even know what Aquanet is.
True enough.
Dating
so
ourselves
what
here.
Aquanet? What? Never mind. I'm not going to get
into Aquanet is what destroyed the ozone, guys, and it was our fault. Actually, it was him. It was all him.
Wait a minute.
He doesn't have hair.
Wait. It was her.
No. No.
She did it. It was all the Aquanet back in the day when she had the big 70s or 80s big hair and stuff, because she was all about that stuff. And yeah, I don't even know what to tell you guys, but yeah, look, hey, woman, there's no calls. I don't know what to tell you. People don't like you. Nobody wants to call you. In case they do, oh look, the chat is there. Look, I'm so off my game today. I apologize.
Hi Paul. Hi Dennis.
Yeah, like Don Cars, like hey. Paul Phillips, hey. Oh wait, that's a name I don't know. Houston. What's up, oh, Bryce Houston. Oh, that makes sense. Hey, cool. I like it. You're here. Craig Hutchinson, what's up? Oh, he wants to know if you got if you got his text, Jeff.
I did, but I went to bed right away.
Oh, what do you mean I left you hanging Sunday, man? I don't even know what you're talking about. I couldn't possibly have. It's possible.
That's
Dennis Lewis.
Second week in a row or something.
Whatever, dude. He's at Target. Him and Amanda are at Target running freight. At least they were the other day. And Paul Phillips said, "Hey, Rosie."
Hey.
Whatever. I don't even know why she's here sometimes. She was just, you guys missed it. She was just like giving me so much static before we started. Like, I think that's why I'm off my game. Because she's like, man, just hammering me. Y'all missed it. I'm glad too, because you'd be like, where's your man card? Just shred it. Joke's on you guys, because it's been gone a long time. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna do this damn fuel surcharge thing. We gotta get this out of the way. Look, I am such a soup sandwich. We're 4 minutes in and I haven't done anything yet. So look, you know what? You're out of here. I'm done with her.
Button, Charlie.
Yes. Let's do it. Sweet Lord. National diesel fuel cost average went down 0.041 to 514.4. West Coast Pad 5 did about the same drop, 0.042 to 583.2. Brings our fuel surcharge just down 0.007 to 0.657. The West Coast stayed at 10 cents. There you go. You get that, Dennis? I know you wanted it earlier, but I didn't send it to you. Sorry. I was busy, man. I was trying to do stuff and whatever, man. Whatever. I'm out of here with this fuel surcharge stuff. We're making money, guys. If you're not making money off this, we need to talk. And yeah, I don't even know what to tell you. Something's wrong. Okay? Indeed. Real talk. Oh, look. We're all back again because I didn't hit the button. I was about to be like, oh, look, we're all back again. And then we weren't. You know what? I'm tired of your laughing at me, woman. Good Lord. So you guys, like I said, we were supposed to have Brett Stewart on today. And he decided he was going to babysit or whatever. And that's fine, I guess. And so, honestly, we didn't prepare a topic. So one of the things that I know we can talk about. What were you going to say?
Is Is
rates, freight volumes.
okay.
So on a large scale national level, I've been following the DAT numbers, and we are down quite drastically this month from last month. And the 2 months prior, I think in January, we were at a 310 for van rates overall as the average. February, we were down to 309. Last month, we were down to 305. And as of yesterday, when I checked, we were down to about 288 this a mile for this month. And that will change throughout the month as it goes up and down, and you know, different rates are negotiated, things like that. But right now, it's looking like we're like this downward turn is happening the way these brilliant people at FreightWaves. I love those guys at FreightWaves because they just lay it out. They're just like, yeah, it's about to be a bloodbath for a lot of people again. So, you know, and it is, because if these guys can't get their costs under control, and they've been living high on the hog, and they started with the rates super high, they don't know how to live when it gets lean. And we're kind of lucky that we're at Swift, and you know what, we're on a mileage contract, and our rates aren't going to change. I mean, I just don't see that happening. The last time that happened was, God, forever ago, Jeff, what, 09, when we lost that penny, you know?
Yeah, it was 08, 09. And actually, Jerry and Moyes at the time sent us all this nice little Qualcomm message.
Right.
You guys remember the Qualcomm, you know, that thing that actually worked? Anyway, it said, look, guys, y'all know what's going on. We're going to lower the rate we're paying you by a penny. Just stick with me, and I'll get that back to you as soon as we can.
Right.
And, you know, I got to give Moyes credit here. He was that man was true to his word. Not only did he give us that penny back by 2010, but we started getting those 3-cent raises regularly.
Right.
You know, so, you know, we make good money for Swift. That's why we keep on telling you guys they're our customer, create value,
Right.
and all that stuff. We can't really get into hard numbers, but with the way the rates work and the dynamics, I'm just gonna say, you guys try and produce more value for Swift if you can.
Yep.
Because with these rates dropping, so what it is, you know, their overhead with company drivers is something like this, and with us, it's usually something like this, you know. And as those rates drop, though, the amount we cost them goes up as a
Right.
percentage of that rate. So you've got to do something, you know. Be creative about getting loads picked up on time, whatever it is you think you can do to create more value for Swift. Because what'll happen is they'll keep us at the same rate because they find that value even if rates drop,
Right.
like they did in 2008. Or, you know, Jerry Moyes is not in charge anymore. We've got Knight in charge now, which is kind of an unknown for us still.
Right.
We're still getting used to it, even though it's been a couple of years. What I can tell you from my research about Knight is that they run a pretty tight ship, though.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how they handle this downturn and that sort of thing, and what happens. So,
because it will be different than 2008 because of that. So just those of you that were around back then, it's interesting because we've been through this before, right, Charlie?
Yep. And with the freight volumes, from my understanding right now, California is just a really bad market coming out of there right now. I don't know why. I haven't talked to anybody specifically.
I know.
Go.
Because I talked to Brett about that yesterday when he called me instead of you. Ha!
Whatever.
That is one of the things that Brett wanted me to mention, because I guess he's getting phone calls about it. About, hey, this freight sucks over here. And yeah, they know. And it's still the major part of, and you reefer guys don't understand this. This is a dry van thing. But, you know, dry van is the bigger part of the business for Swift. So for dry van on the West Coast, specifically California, the biggest part of that business is stuff coming in from China. And there's still an issue at the ports.
Yeah, there's a big COVID increase over there right now too.
Right.
Shanghai was shut. In fact, Shanghai shut down. Like the whole city was like quarantined.
Yeah, they were locked down. Yeah. So that's affecting our stuff out of California. If you're like Charlie, you don't go to California anyway, so it doesn't affect you.
Right.
But yeah, so Brett did want me to mention that since he couldn't be on to explain what's going on himself. Also, that remember too, those of you that have been around for a while, this happens every year.
Yep.
Every single year, people get to that point where, gosh, I'm just gonna find something else to do. Right.
But it's usually earlier in the year, though.
And then, well, it's usually lasts until tax day.
Right.
After tax day. So here's what you need to know about tax day and retail. Retailers are taxed on their inventory. Not, it's kind of like the unrealized gain things that they're just signed into law for rich people. If you guys
Right.
aren't paying attention, you probably should on that. I'm just going to leave that one there.
Right.
But they get taxed on the retail value of their stock. So what they do is, I saw a thing today, guys like, well, why don't we just move these T-calls out here? Well, Swift is being paid to store retail merchandise on the yard
Right.
to avoid that tax, because if the goods are in transit, they don't get taxed.
Yep.
So what happens on April 18th is tax day this year, because they changed it again. On April 19th, those loads that will start going out to stores and DCs and stuff. So that's part of the backup this time of year too.
I know a lot of our stores are doing inventory this week, and they're kind of like, whoa, let's get it done, because they want to get that stuff knocked out. So yeah. Oh, so Bryce said, honestly, wish Night and Swift would completely merge, meaning we could do night loads and trailers, and they could do Swift loads and trailers. See if I did it with Transamerican, it works well. I don't know if I agree with that. Well, and one of the things that they've actually noticed with a lot of these acquisitions they've been making is that they're actually doing better keeping the lines of business separate, and they're just reinforcing these companies with better practices or synergy, right? Use those buzzwords.
Oh no, you didn't
Come on,
use
I
that
did it.
word.
But yeah, but they are, and they're giving them better technology and better management styles, I guess. You know, they're leaving. Well, they're leaving a lot of the main businesses, and yeah, well, you know, they're leaving a lot of the management stuff in place, like, you know, the people that are running day to day, and you know, because they're buying these businesses because they're good businesses, right? And they figure these are the guys that are doing it, and honestly, the top brass are the ones that are getting replaced mostly, and you know, and where they need it, they fill in what they need or what they want. So I don't know, keeping them separate, I don't think is a horrible thing, honest to God. You know, you look at AAA Cooper, bar none, you know, name any of the ones that they have acquired, and all of them are doing fabulously on their own and contributing to the overall umbrella of the Knight Swift holdings. So I don't know. I don't know. I want to compete with night drivers over a Swift trailer and a night load. That seems weird to me.
Well, I've already had guys talk to me about they've hauled night loads, like legitimate night loads on night trailers.
Right.
And we have seen some night guys hauling our trailers. So I think there is a little bit of crossover as needed.
And the load board stuff.
The load board stuff, right? That's a lot of night stuff, actually.
You show up there and they're like, yeah, I'm here Swift. And they're like, yeah, we don't have a load for Swift. Oh, wait, I'm here to pick up a night logistics load. Oh, okay. Yeah, we got one of those.
Yeah, it took me like 45 minutes to figure that out the first time it happened to me.
Right.
And then a light bulb came on. And I'm like, wait a minute, this might be a night load.
Yeah, I ran into that at East Point load. Yeah,
well, the thing with me, Charlie, is they said, well, your load number matches, but it's not a Swift load.
Right.
Like,
right. And if you don't know the name, they're like, we're not going to give it to you.
Yeah.
Would you like to guess? Swift? No. Barnum. Swift
Navajo.
Logistics? Nope. Navajo. Night Logistics? Oh, yeah, that's the one. Okay. All right, cool. I'll take that one. They're like, oh, here, have $1 million worth of freight. Go for it.
Yeah.
It seems a little funny to me, but okay. You know, I mean, I don't know.
The other thing, too, to keep in mind about, so Night Swift, other carriers that Night Swift Holdings has acquired, they do have different businesses. They do different things. Back when it was Knight versus Swift, there are two different companies kind of competing against each other, but not really. Knight was charging more for their rates than Swift was.
Right.
And, take this for what it's worth. It's just an analogy. I'm not saying anything bad about Swift because I love Swift. You know that. But Swift has always kind of been the Walmart of trucking. Swift will come in and underbid on purpose just to get that freight away from you.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Like
it was part of their
hardcore.
model. I mean, that was the Walmart, DC debacle.
In an article, Jerry even once said, "Hey, if I make 1 penny on a load, that's a win for me."
Right.
Like 1 penny profit, that's it.
That's a crazy margin. Like seriously, that's a crazy margin to try and operate on. But when you have that volume,
yeah. But the man had 17,000 trucks on the road.
Right.
So
and back then it was 22 or 23,000.
Right.
I mean, good Lord,
So,
our contractor division was 5, 6, 7,000 or something like that. I mean, it was ridiculous and just insane amounts of company trucks. And so, yeah, look, volume is king. Let's face it. But at the same time, they also came in and said, wait a minute, some of this isn't quite working right. We're not making the most bang for the buck. Let's adjust things. And that's when things started changing. And, we lost six Walmart DCs all at one time a couple years back, the McClinney, Florida being one, a couple other in Texas and things like that. But it was because those ones were operating in a loss. I mean, they were legitimately operating at a loss. They were paying to pull Walmart freight. And that just didn't make sense anymore with the freight market going up. But right now we're in that downturn. But here's the thing though, also freight rates are still higher now than they normally have been for quite some time. Pre this I don't know, the COVID push, you know what I mean? Because we probably should have started that downward turn right about the time COVID happened. And then COVID happened and there was a backlog of a bunch of freight, and then freight rates just started going crazy then. And so now I think
people started buying trucks.
Right.
Capacity went up, and now we've got more capacity than there's freight.
Yeah, there's going to be some brutal things happening soon. And, you guys just keep watching. I'm telling you, just keep watching the market. And, now is not the time to strike out on your own. I'm all for it. Look, you want to get your own authority, by all means, do that. If you want some help and guidance, we've got access to some people that, and we have some knowledge ourselves. We can help you guys do that. I'm going to tell you that I think right now you missed the boat. You got to wait for the bottom of this cycle to happen and then be ready to pull the trigger if that's really what you want to do, so that you can ride that wave back up and, be there for the whole top and ready for it to smash out of the bottom again, because it just happens all the time. I mean, it's just the way it works.
And I'll also say too, when you do that, I'm just going to assume that there's people listening that could actually do that. Don't burn the bridge with Swift, whatever you do.
Right.
Because Charlie and I have both seen where independents will literally park their trucks. This happened in 2008.
Yep.
We got a whole bunch of brand new company drivers that were literally guys that parked their big ass Peterbilts.
Yep.
Because freight was down at 99 cents and they could make more money being a company driver at Swift at that point. So they're like, yep, put my authority on hold, working for Swift. When the market goes back up, I'm gone.
Yep. and that's what they do. And I mean, some of those guys actually lease trucks. I mean, some of them went company drivers, some of them leased trucks, and things like that. I mean, look, it made sense for them. I don't think I'm that guy. I mean, who knows? Maybe my business model changes later. Right now, that cat. Right now, I'm gonna throw you away because that cat is on fire or something right now.
Come on, Charlie, tell the truth. You kidnapped a kid again, didn't you?
Yeah, right. I mean, that cat is something else. She is hilarious, man, and she knows when we're doing things. She's like meow, and she'll just walk up to you and look at you and just start meowing. Anyhow, but
she wants to be a YouTube star.
Oh, what
it is?
Can I say? I've got friends of mine who've been making bank with Amazon with their own authority, but recently even their rates have tanked. Yeah, and so you add in that fuel cost and whether or not they're getting those things. I don't know what kind of fuel surcharge that they've got built into their stuff or not. I honestly have no idea. Look, Amazon's got kind of a neat program going on over the past couple of years where they actually have been kind of an incubator for single truck, operations coming and getting their own authority, because they're like, yeah, you guys take all that responsibility and we'll pay you for moving our freight. You contract to us exclusively for a year or two, and we'll kind of bankroll you and finance you and all that sort of stuff, which is great.
Yeah, they did that all the way down to the delivery drivers too. I don't know if people know that, but those new Sprinter vans that have Amazon on the side of them,
contractors.
What happened with that is they actually went to their warehouse employees and said, hey, we have an opportunity for you. We will loan you the money for one of these Sprinter vans, make you a contractor, and give you a route like FedEx, So it's like if FedEx were to come to you and say, hey, we're gonna loan you this money at a low interest rate.
Okay. Yeah. Look, I know I was speaking to someone the other day, not calling out names, who was talking about getting their own authority, and they're a hard charging team, and I get it. And, I said, hey, man, if you're going to do it, do it. I'm not going to talk you out of it, but I will say that your best bet is not to get your own authority right now, but, get your ducks in a row for that next swing and look at someone like FedEx Custom Critical. I mean, those guys pay phenomenal. You got to have a newish truck, and I mean, they run your tail off, man. Absolutely, they run your tail off, and you will get miles and make a ton of money. I mean, we had someone that used to be a part of our group, went over there and started buying Western Star trucks with cash and putting drivers in them. So, I mean,
yeah, there was one in particular from that the other group that I was actually following her and her husband or man or whatever they were. And boy, they made a killing over there.
Oh, they did, and they did it well.
They leased from Swift for long enough to learn what to do, went over to FedEx and started stroking checks for trucks after about a year.
Yep. Exactly, Ken. I hear nothing on the other page, which one, from those people who jumped for their own authority or FedEx. Everyone is silent about how good they were having it and laughing at us. So I can tell you the FedEx side is still amazing. I mean, from everything I've read, we're going to start seeing less and less from those other people, because those rates are going to be doing amazing things in the wrong direction for those guys. So
yeah, FedEx is a contract like the one we have, but it's with FedEx.
Right.
It's a mileage contract. It's, and after a while, the guy that we learned a lot of stuff from, Rutherford, he ran 3 trucks out of FedEx in Florida. They were day cabs, and he had a contract with them he had 3 routes, and they did the same route every single day.
Yep.
Which is one of the reasons why he was so valuable to Charlie and I think, is because he had 3 trucks running the same routes every day. So he was actually able to real world test things like tires and aerodynamics, and because it was the exact same route every day on these
Find
trucks.
out exactly what was really working and what wasn't, to save fuel and maximize cash and everything else. It was pretty awesome. If you guys have any questions, throw them up, by the way. Don't let us dictate where this goes. We're here for you guys. If you guys got questions about anything, throw them up. We'll get to them. Got a cough again. Sorry, it's been one of those days.
People think you have corona.
My allergy test says that I'm not allergic to anything, yet I can't walk throughout the world without dying, it seems. Ken Kelly's up here again. I told my friends who have their own authority about ESA Card. Cool. They called and got it. They told me that their savings is phenomenal. Pretty cool to help them out. Isn't it? Dude, I love that we can do that stuff. And the team Jeff mentioned, I don't think she drives anymore. She stays home and runs the trucks, last I heard. Good for her. Like, seriously. Look, really, right there. If that's what Sylvia's doing, man, seriously.
And let me tell you, man, this lady, she inspired me at a time when I was about ready to turn my truck in, Charlie. I mean, I was seeing what they were doing, and they, they started out as Swifties. So that's the potential, you know. I mean, Charlie and I choose to stay here for our own reasons, but man, you know, you run your business right. You could, if that's what she's doing, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's pretty rare.
Look, I'd love to be able to sit at the house sometimes and just do nothing but run that business. I mean, can you imagine the focus you could get going?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and look, that's exactly what Kevin Rutherford did. Hey, Bryce, they're open, man. If you want to call, you just dial that number right there, and that magic lady that's sitting right here, unexpecting this, she's ready to take your call. She's still got that damn cat meowing in the background, but she's there. So by all means, call in, buddy, if that's what you want to do. We would gladly take the call. If any of you have anything else, by all means, please throw it up and we'll get to it. But yeah, seriously, dude, Sylvia and her husband, they were slaying it at Swift. I mean, because they were doing 7,000 miles a week at Swift as a team, running pretty much the majority of what they did was FedEx. So they already knew that system. You know, they had made connections over there. That's how they actually ended up over there was, you know, they stepped into it. They found out about that opportunity and went, yes, let's do this. You know what I mean? And so, and they just slayed it, you know, and FedEx, look, FedEx is not one of those places that seems to lose the volume. Right. Like Sue said, you have to bid on those routes and it takes time. Yeah, exactly. No exceptions on failure of routes. If you do your route, you will be sold. And that's exactly right. I mean, talk about pressure. There is
their whole company motto is the world on time. That tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah.
And honestly, you know, I've run enough FedEx. Like when I was a mentor, I would get FedEx loads a lot because they're all team loads.
Yep. I love those.
But I saw the pressure that the actual FedEx guys were under, and honestly, man, I was just like, yeah, I'm not doing that.
Right. I thought about doing
I understand the money involved, but damn, you know.
Look, I almost made that jump to custom critical, and then I found out that my truck was too old, and they're like, "Get out of here with that junk heap." I'm like, "Whatever, it runs," but yeah, they wouldn't take it because it was too old. But there's, I mean, had it not been that, that's probably where I would be right now. Honest to God, I mean, that's just reality. Because I wanted to run a harder team at the time and all that. So, hey, Sue, by the way, I didn't mean to skip you there, but yeah, like you said, they had to bid on routes. So, and when you first start out with them, you pretty much have to take the crap, you know what I mean? From everyone I've talked to, you know, but the custom critical is kind of a different little world. They're their own little world, and none of that's really crap there. But you know, the regular FedEx stuff goes kind of batshit. I don't know how else to say it. Oh,
I can't wait for you to get it either because I want to see it.
Ken says he's getting his APU next week and he can't wait. Whoop whoop. I want to start seeing numbers personally. I still don't think it makes any sense for me, but I think for you guys that are running solo right now,
I think you have to actually run the truck for more than a day a week.
You know what? I don't like your attitude. So I got someone on the line. Oh, Rosie's talking to him. I think she's doing some magic over there. Let's see what happens. And I'm willing to bet it's Bryce. So we will get to you in just a minute, buddy. She's making notes now, and we'll get to it. Hey, Sue. Hi. Sorry, I can't help it. What do you want from me? It's like I'm so off my groove today. It's ridiculous. So, yeah. So I was out trying to find freight today for this week. So, and I'm having technical difficulties like many of you. And Charlie, work is an oxymoron. For real, stop it, Ken. Anyhow, so I reached out and had troubles getting a hold of one of our OO planners, like many of you have said in the past. Oh, I think Rosie got disconnected. That was cool. She's trying to fix stuff. Hang in there, buddy. We'll get to you. Anyhow, and but then I got to talk to Jerry today, and I think today is actually the first time I talked to Jerry, man. Seems like a cool guy. So he's looking out for freight for me. I'm going to be leaving the house on Friday. By the way, Jeff, I didn't tell you, our business cards should be here this week. They shipped today, FedEx. Speaking of FedEx, yep, the world on time. So our business cards are coming out. So I'll have those with me now. I'm just waiting on the second round of stickers that I got coming. They should be here Thursday. I'm leaving out of here on Friday. Whether I have a load or not, my truck will be pointed to Phoenix. Don't recommend you guys do stuff like that. It doesn't make sense for most of you, so don't do it. I'm just saying that if need be, that's what I'm doing. I told everybody about it today. I told my OC, hey, if you see my truck running bobtail towards Phoenix, just look away. Just look away. She's like, okay, I don't really pay attention to you anyhow.
Whenever I ask her about you, Charlie, she's like, I don't know what he's doing.
I love it, man. It's hilarious. I don't have any of those cards in Memphis. Right now, there's some up in Troutdale, Oregon. There's some in Ocala. You could visit Sue in Ocala. I'm working on getting them distributed a little bit better. I have a production issue to get them. I got to get them a bunch made first. And I'm just going to, I need to find OOCs in each terminal that we dig. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like the Sue and the Danas and that sort of people that, are awesome. And so that we can get them in their hands and kind of spread the word that way. So if you know somebody at a terminal like that, send us a message. Let us know who they are, and we'll try and reach out to them. It wouldn't hurt if you talked to them and said, hey, we got these guys that we listen to and we talk about it. We're in this group and they're doing these things, and maybe you could reach out to them. I don't know. I mean, we're not opposed to talking to people. I tend to, you can ask Sue. Sue will tell you, like, I was like interviewing her. Like, we stood there talking like, well, what do you think about this? And she's like, well, what do you think about this? And then we're like, oh my God, wait a minute. And then we just started clicking. I mean, it was great. I mean, Sue became one of my favorite people, like instantly. It was great because of, her knowledge of the business and the different parts of it she's been a part of. So yeah. Hey, Todd Thursby, what's up, buddy? Hey, man, you're all good. You haven't missed a whole lot but me rambling the fuel surcharge report. Yeah. And let's see. So hang on. You know what? I'm going to pull this call up. I don't know if Rosie ever got it. Oh, she's back in the screening room. I think she's getting her stuff reset again. Let's see what happens. Anyhow, you know what? Watch this. I'm going to mess them up. I'm just going to take them. Watch this. Let's see who it is. Hey, you're on the phone. Who are you? What's up? Rosie didn't put notes in.
Hey, you're fine. What's up, Charlie? It's Bryce Houston.
Hey, Bryce. What's up, buddy? What's going on, man?
Not much. I was just kind of curious. I kind of hinted to it earlier, but with how the media kind of perceives trucking, right? It's always, oh, there's a big trucker shortage,
right?
That. But then we come to the points where we have low freight. Like, I mean, how I run, I usually don't do too bad. I kind of try to stay on the Ross account,
right,
and just do Ross the whole time where I can get it. But I will say, when you get to those areas like me now, getting to Albuquerque, and there's hardly anything in Albuquerque.
Right.
I mean, it's my first year being on Ross, so I never really dealt with it company side.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, building those relationships, and now is the time you should be doing that. You know what I mean? I mean, really, you should be building those relationships before you make that jump. But right now is a really good time to do it because, you need to figure out who to talk to when, in what areas, and how soon you should talk to them before you get there, that sort of thing. Because, I can tell you from my personal experience that when I'm actually running OTR, I know it's very few and far between that it happens. And I'm really rusty right now because that's why I was going to weird sources today. But when you know that, okay, I'm going to be heading to Phoenix. So, 2 days before I get there, I start making calls. I start sending messages. Hey, I'm going to be in Phoenix in 2 days. Just wanted to reach out, got a team truck. I can run team. I can run solo. I'm up for anything except going into California because they won't let my truck there. But, and I look, okay. And I try not to go above the Canadian line of I-40. Right. And, we're getting close to where that line for me moves up a little bit. But not quite there yet. There's still too much snow and crap out there that I'm just not willing to deal with right now. But yeah, man, if you work those angles, and get on those calls ahead of time, you'll actually see yourself doing better than most.
I like those Ross loads, man.
That was kind of one of the. Oh yeah, Ross loads are great. That was one of the things I learned on company side was, hey, like, I mean, I can't even tell you how many planners phone numbers I have on my phone. Like, my thing on company side, like, I would do the really crappy loads that nobody wanted to do. So like, let's say you're in California, you're doing a local SoCal load,
Right.
but that planner, you talk to them and they're like, hey, like, you do this for me, you know, I'll help you out and get you where you want to go. So like, every time I know both the planners in Greer, and they're fantastic. And every time I get to Charlotte, which is where my parents live, I'll spend a day at home, and then I either have San Antonio or Albuquerque waiting for me. Like, it is
Nice.
great.
And that's the way to do it, man.
But,
You build those relationships.
Yeah, and don't be shy about it either. You know, like when I lived in Oregon, right? I became actual friends with Russ, one of the planners there.
Uncle Russ.
Like
I love that
yeah,
guy.
we call him Uncle Russ. So here's the thing, and I would tell people, you know, you can hate me if you want, but when I got off of home time, I would physically go up and talk to Russ, ask how his family was doing.
Yep.
BS for a little bit, and then, so what do you got?
Exactly.
And he would pull up his screen and say, where you want to go?
Right.
And Oregon's not exactly a place where you think of getting freight out of. Usually
I
it's a
almost
34
always
hour.
left there.
yeah,
I almost
You know.
always left there, like from the house. I lived on the coast of Oregon, right? 107 miles from the terminal. I wouldn't leave the house till I had a load. And there's guys sitting in the terminal that been there for a day, whatever. And look, whether you think it's right or wrong, the relationship I had with people, you know, I could call, you know, the operation manager at the time and say, hey, I'm getting ready to leave the house. What do you got? And he's like, well, you know, what do you want to do? He knew that I would always be on time. I would bust my tail to make it happen. And I'd leave Oregon and go to run to New York. And then start a triangle out of that and be back 2 weeks later, you know?
Yeah, and also that you were saying doing stuff that other people didn't want to do. I fell into this thing where those of you that are familiar with the Denver and then the Southwest freight runs. So I've kind of got this reputation with the planners that I'm actually willing to do a biopapel load. I guess they have a hard time getting those things filled.
It seems crazy to me,
And
but
they are heavy. I mean, it's recycled cardboard going into the mill. The mill's 70 miles away from anywhere.
yeah.
So you get a load of paper rolls coming out, usually going to Southern California. And they have a hard time filling those. So I'm like, well, I'll do it. You know, I don't care.
And he keeps moving. It's great. I mean, he just
And
keeps cranking
so
it out.
it's about 1,000 miles all told from Denver down to Calexico. That's heavy loads, you know, paper loads. And then I'll get one of those local LA things, right, from the border to like Long Beach, which gets me a load that's usually a Ross load, you know, under 25,000 pounds, going to like Mobile, Alabama, which completes that's a really good circuit, man. All because I'm willing to do that one thing that nobody wants to do. You know? So.
Definitely. I mean, I had one in Vegas, and the planner sent me a message and was like, hey, this is a new customer, and I've had 2 trucks that have gone there and have refused it because they can't back into it. He was like, if you think you can do it, he sent it to me.
Right.
And I got there, and I mean, it was a place made for box trucks. It definitely wasn't made for a semi. Like, you had to back in from the road perfectly, which was a blindside back as well. Back onto a scale, pull off into the scale, go back into the road, and then back into the little dock where they loaded in with that cardboard, like you were saying.
I love that stuff.
And I mean, I don't like how heavy it is,
Right?
but it's a nice, easy load.
They make money still.
Yeah,
You just have to handle them right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't take the time to actually learn how to get into tight spaces. I mean, I guess with me, I started, and my parents live in North Carolina, so I'd be back there a lot, and I'd have to run up to New Jersey. And if you go up to New Jersey, you already know those places.
Everything's tight.
Yeah, and you're basically driving on residentials everywhere. Like,
right.
I mean, you have to learn how to do that stuff when you're up there. So, doing all the stuff that nobody wanted to do at first, I mean, it teaches you how to do stuff like that, and then
right.
you get into a situation like that where they're like, hey, like, nobody can get this stuff. You know, you can try. Like, all right, like I can do it. I mean, if anybody can do it, I think I can.
Right.
And you
See,
get
and
it up
that's
there
the
first
attitude.
try, and then
You know, be the
I
guy
agree.
that's providing the
you get it up
service.
there first time. You're just like, hey. Yeah, but I will say it is nice getting back to the Greer area and knowing them, and you get those 1,800 loads from
Right.
there to Albuquerque. But then once you get back out west, you're kind of stuck, and then you're either stuck going back out east, or you know, you get in a tight little circuit. I mean, me in the wintertime, I tried my best to just stay on I-10 the best I could, so I could stay out of the snow.
That's everybody's
then,
goal.
Yeah, it's everybody's.
Well, I'll
And I
tell you
will
what,
say,
though.
I got unlucky because. Go ahead.
I tell you what, though, in 15 years of doing this, this is the first year that I've actually accomplished that.
Right.
I've been below the 40 most of the winter. It's been nice.
I mean, hey, that's pretty good. I used to do back when I was company side, I did team for a little bit, and hell, we would do SoCal to Orlando, up to Charlotte, back to SoCal.
Nice.
And I mean, it was easy. And doing team loads like that, it was great until Ross shuts down for the winter. And then once Ross shuts down for the winter, you're kind of SOL.
Mhm.
Right.
And that's the only bad thing about it, because then you're either stuck on the 40 or you're going up to Northern California if you're doing teams. And that's when I decided, like, hey, you know, I was going to do the owner op thing, which everybody told me not to do it in the winter. But I was kind of the person like, hey, like, I could do it. I mean, it might be crappy at first, but I'll do it. Hey, I was on a contract working the Port of LA for a little bit. And I mean, Swift paid for my Swift card. They did everything.
Right.
And we were just working the port. And it was basically 4 hours a day. It was guaranteed $2,500. It was,
Wow.
I mean, it was great,
Nice.
especially for a company guy.
Yeah.
And
I just
once
don't
I
have the
got off
patience for
that,
the port.
I mean, yeah, because I mean, yeah, that's how I was. You're sitting there waiting in line for 4 or 5 hours.
Right.
Just like, man, like, I'm just ready to drive. And you're only working 4-hour days, basically, because
Right.
you're only grabbing one trailer, and then you don't have time to go get another one. But it was a good time. I will say that. It did teach me a lot to come to the owner op side, which, like I said, this is my first year. I actually switched over to owner op in December. And then by January 1st, I was already in Swift Contractor Corner, because I posted
Perfect.
my owner op thing. I posted a picture of my truck when I flipped it. And I think it was actually Charlie was like, why are you not in this Facebook group?
Probably.
And I was like, okay, I'll deal with it.
Look, Jeff and I are both kind of like that.
yeah,
We're
dude,
like, why aren't you in the group yet? I don't even understand what's going on, man. Do you have a driver code that's a owner op or a contractor code? Then you should be there. You're missing out.
Yeah,
I'm always amazed that there's not
I mean,
more
it's a
people
great
there.
time. Like, it's just getting the word out. Like at my terminal, my home terminal is El Paso, right?
Right.
My driver leader, consultant, whatever you call him. I mean, he's on the brink of retiring. Like he's kind of done it.
Right.
So I'm trying to figure out kind of where I'm going to be after that. But the good thing is, I think one of my buddies is going to be filling his spot, who I know really well.
Well, that's good.
And that'll
Start
be
interviewing
good on
now.
that end. But I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, even with him, he had his first owner op that was on his board. And when you sent me that fuel tax card,
Right.
and it came with 2, I gave him the envelope, and I was like, hey, whoever your new guy is, make sure you give him this. I was like, it will help him tremendously.
Nice.
And he was like, well, what the heck is this? And I kind of explained it to him and everything. And he was just like, all right, I'll give it to him. And I was like, make sure you pass the word, because like, I'm telling you now, if I didn't listen to the stuff that you guys say, I mean, I don't even think I'd be in the positive half the time.
Well,
I mean,
I'm
it's-
glad
Well, you
to
know.
hear that.
especially now with fuel and stuff.
The check is in the mail.
Right. You can
The check
Venmo.
is in the
You
mail.
can Venmo us at no. I'm just playing. You know, but yeah, no, and that's really what the what the group is about. Rosie wanted me to tell you that she's sorry. She doesn't know what's going on with the phone, and she had to reboot. So yeah, she's back. And if anyone else wants to call, it could be fun. Maybe she'll be able to work the phone. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but dude, I think you're doing the right things, and you know, like you said, you know, work those accounts that make sense at the right time. You know, I tend to follow groceries most of the time because you know what, there's not huge drop offs in groceries because no matter what's going on, people still got to eat.
Mhm.
You know,
Right.
so that's been my thing for quite a few years. You know, the Walmart DCs running, you know, their frozen dairy, the Target DC for, you know, 3+ years now, and you know, between them and different Walmart DCs, I mean, I pretty much stay busier than I ever want to. You know, I only want to
Yeah.
work a couple of days a week. Let's be real. You know what I mean? And because the truck is paid off, I get that luxury, and I know that. And some guys are like, yeah, but your truck's paid off. Well, yeah, but you know, I was there before. Trust me. You know, I had multiple lease trucks at one point in time, and you know, I still had to handle all that stuff. So you know, keep doing what you're doing, man, because you know. And trust me, we dig that you're spreading the word, and that will help the group. It will help all of us. You know, it helps all of us by increasing our knowledge base, and the more people we get in there and start having discussions, even when we don't agree. I mean, there's you guys have seen it. You know, there's times where we're just like, yeah, screw you, big button heads, but the outcome is usually pretty phenomenal, and we're like, hey, this is a good idea. Let's start, you know, doing this instead. You know, because look, Jeff and I fought a fuel card for a decade.
Yep.
And when it finally, you know, came up, um, it worked out. It just became cool, you know.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was missing
It
a
definitely was a game changer.
right. Oh, Ken said later I'll have fun in Vegas. He's getting things at home wrapped up before he leaves the country. Be safe. Always be safe. Yes. And Todd Thursby, do y'all know anything about the Target dedicating Lake City for owner teams? Yes, Todd, I will get to you in just a minute, buddy. Don't think I'm ignoring you. I'm going to get to you in just a second. But Bryce, keep doing what you're doing, buddy, and keep passing out that the good word, the good word. And we appreciate
Absolutely,
it.
man.
You know, like I said, the more of us we get
Yeah.
in this group and doing stuff,
Yeah.
the better off we all are.
The real value, and this is what I tell people when they look at me like I've got 3 heads or something when I bring it up. Like I'll just go talk to someone like at a fuel island
Right?
sometimes.
It's so much
Like,
fun
who are
now.
you? But I said, you know, here's the thing: is you can like or hate Charlie and I. That we started the group, but here's the value: is how many people do we have in the group now, Charlie?
180-ish.
So 180 people with experience running trucks.
Right?
Somebody in that group has an answer for just about any question.
Even the brand new guy. I mean, seriously, like the newest person will know something that
Mhm.
maybe you haven't thought about, a different perspective. And you know, perspective is everything. I mean, if you can get your mind wrapped around something in a different way, then why not? I mean, if it makes sense, it makes sense. When it comes down to the numbers, I don't care who brought it up. If the numbers make sense, I'm all about it.
Yep.
Right. I mean, I think you were in the Army too, Charlie, because I only
Yep.
see your little airborne thing behind you. But, you know, the old saying there was, I'll kind of censor it because I don't know how it is. But, you know, you gotta be in the crap to get the good. I
Right.
mean, especially if you were airborne at Fort Bragg.
Yep.
I mean, you know how it is.
Yep.
You got to be in the crap to get the good.
Every now and then, I'll say it.
time they
Every
give
now
me
and then,
load
you
of
got to eat a
pants, Phil,
shit
I'm still
sandwich.
scared of that place.
Every now and then, you got to eat a shit sandwich to get to that steak. I'll throw it out there. I don't even mind. Whatever. What are they going to do? They can't cancel me because I'm here. Whatever.
That's right.
I try to watch
Right,
my
man.
mouth on this show, but you brought it out of me. It's that paratrooper. I can't help it.
Okay.
All right, Bryce.
Hey, I mean, that was always the saying.
Well, we do appreciate you, buddy, and thank you for all the kind words and the input, and keep chiming in and being a part of it, man. I'm gonna cut you loose here, and I want to get on to Todd Thursby here real quick, if that's cool. And dude, thanks for calling. I appreciate you using the phone because I like the engagement over the phone. It gives it a little more personal feel, and Yeah, I dig it. So by all means, call in anytime you guys want to. Any of you, goes for any of you. But Bryce, thanks, buddy. You be safe. All right.
Absolutely.
right.
You guys have a good one.
All right, buddy. See if I push the right button here.
Doubt it.
All right, I did it. I did it right. But yeah, okay. So Todd Thursby, anything about Target Dedicated in Lake City for owner teams? Yeah, I think it's a great account for teams. It depends on how hard you want to run. It's not uncommon. You know, some teams will say things like, "Well, I want to do 7,000 miles." You're not going to do 7,000 miles at Target. It isn't going to happen. Their runs aren't long enough to do that, and you only do one a day, typically. Every now and then you'll do a quick day run. You know, it's like about 300, 400 miles, and then you'll do a load overnight and be back the next evening. So you know, if you're doing 5,000 miles, seems like a pretty easy number to hit from what I've seen for a lot of people. Hey, Bryce, anytime, buddy. But you know, but you gotta calculate in that maybe you're doing less miles than you want to do OTR, but you're on a shorter pay scale, so you're making more per mile, and you're doing between 3, 4, 5 stops a day at $35. Of course, one of those don't count because even though you have 5, somehow that thumb disappears and you only get paid for 4. But whatever, I don't even get me started on that one. So yeah, they've got a weird deal where they don't pay for one of those stops, and it just whatever. The math doesn't work to me, but you know what? I still gross about $1.96 a mile as of late because of all the stop pay and the extra stuff, and I'm fueling it pretty decent fuel rates with the ES Advantage card that we have. And so yeah, I mean, on Team Expedited, we typically get between 6,000 and 7,000 miles a week, is what Todd Thursby just said. And yeah, you're not going to do that, but you need to run the numbers and see how that translates over, because you need to look at the sliding pay scale, the stop pay, you know, the accessorial pay, and see how that's going to work for your operation. The best thing I can say to do, honestly, is Rosie and I are not representative of running as a team on that account, because we truly only work 3 or 4 days a week. That's all we want to do. So that's what we do as Surge. The contract rate, I will tell you, I do not like the contract rate, so I would not sign their contract. And they know that I say that all the time. They're okay with me saying that. They don't care. They understand my point. But if you can get in there on Surge, long-term, short-term, whatever you want to do, give it a try. Come try it out for a week. See what you think. I mean, really, that's the best way to do it.
Yeah, and you know what we've seen with people that have gone down there to try it, they either love it or they hate it.
Right.
It doesn't seem to be two different anything other than those two opinions.
Right.
You know, we had a guy go down there, and from what Charlie was telling me, they kind of gave him like one of the hardest stores to do.
That was Alan. They totally dumped on him. Oh my God. He was like, I'm never doing this again.
Like, I'm out of here. And we're like, cool, but you helped him out with that one load. Cool.
Exactly.
You know?
and it's a pain in the butt load to cover, and he did it and got it done. And he's like, it's not for him. So, you know, but look, now he knows he didn't like that. And I told him, you know, that was actually not the stereotypical run. He did kind of get hammered on that one. It was just unfortunate, and he wasn't in the right mindset for it. And, you know, and it was just, look, it was what it was. And it was hilarious because he's like, I'm out of here. Screw this. I'm going to give it a couple days. Nope. I'm out today. I'm out. And took off to Texas the next day. But that's cool. Yep. He helped out with one load. Paul Phillips and Amanda are down here. They're on their way back to the DC right now, they said earlier. So Todd, maybe you could reach out to Paul Phillips, and there you go, and get their take on it. They might be able to give you a pretty good opinion of it. Hey, Paul, any chance you got the ability to call in? Maybe we could get your perspective on this thing and help a couple people out. If you can, cool. If not, that's cool too.
So this whole thing started a conversation between Charlie and I a couple days ago that we've been kind of banging around since. Right. Especially on a mileage contract, we do kind of get it, but people tend to focus on, I need 3,000 miles a week as a solo and 7,000 miles a week as a team.
Right.
Otherwise, I'm not making money. Right. But if you look at their actual profit and loss statements, there's times if you look at an operation where 2,500 miles made more money than 3,000 miles
Right.
on the bottom line. You know, like Charlie right now in Lake City, he's figured out that his truck runs really well at 55 miles an hour. Like he's getting fuel mileage numbers that would blow you guys away on that old truck.
Yep. Old ugly clunker. She's doing great.
And so he has slowed down. And what that means is in a truly team operation is that he would be giving up some mileage on a true team operation, probably about maybe 1,000 miles a week
Oh yeah.
doing that. But his actual bottom line would go up because the fuel mileage is up. So the mileage is one thing to look at out of many.
Right.
Yet one of the things that we try to push is looking at the entire business here. You know, miles. Okay, well that doesn't do great if you're getting 5 miles a gallon because you're flooring it everywhere you go.
Right.
You're just throwing that money out. I guess you don't have stacks anymore. You're out your weed burner.
Right.
So,
right.
and you know, and we do sound like a broken record on this a little bit, but you know, we get these guys, oh, I get better fuel mileage at 70 than I do at 60. Okay, well, there's something wrong with your truck, or you have a wonky gear ratio.
Right.
Those are the
That's
two
the
things that
reality
will
of it.
cause that. And you know, this is just basic physics, guys. You know,
We don't make up the rules.
nope. And you know, like I always say, you know, my son's a mathematician. In case you guys didn't know, like legit
Like
mathematician.
for real. Like makes my
He's-
head hurt.
He's the one that figured out the fuel surcharge algorithm for us, and how weird that was. But
Right.
anyway, me, I'm not. I was an English major, man. I hate math. Math sucks, but it doesn't lie.
I love math. Not the way his son loves math, but I love math.
Yeah, he's weird, that one. I don't know. You know, he looks too much like me to be a product of the milkman. I don't know.
Speaking of the milkman, watch this. Bam! There she is. What's up?
Hey,
Did you figure out how to use your computer again?
I don't know what the heck was going on.
Oh my gosh, woman. You have one job. Answer the
I
call,
know.
type in letters, and put it on the screen. And what
I
did you do?
know.
Oh my
When I
gosh.
went to answer, there was like nothing.
Yeah.
I was
she
like,
broke it.
hello. Waited for like 5-10 seconds and nothing.
All right. So Paul said, wait for this settlement to close, and he'll be able to give you some good numbers, Todd. And you know, I mean, look, worst case, you come down and maybe it's not quite for you. And I know they could use the help. I know they would appreciate the help.
Mhm.
So you know what? There's always that opportunity to build a goodwill bridge. And I can tell you, it's a great place to go when you want to get out of the snow for a little while.
Yes.
And a lot of these dedicated accounts, if you can get on Surge, you know, one of the things that Charlie and I looked at about a year ago is guys whose trucks break down, so they end up in the rear. So like, oh gosh, what am I going to do? Go to
Right.
Opel Leica, run for Walmart for a month, and I guarantee you'll have that maintenance paid for,
Right.
and be back in the
absolutely.
black, and all your bills caught up inside of 4 weeks.
Yeah. Like
You
without
know,
a doubt.
You might hate doing store runs. I don't exactly like them, but it pays enough to incentivize me to do it.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah, Todd, I would give it a shot, man. Ida's out right now, ill, so you can't really reach out to her. You could call in and talk to Dolores, and she can give you some information on it. You know, I'd be happy to pass your name on, driver code, whatever you want me to pass on, and I can get them in contact with you. If that's what you want to try it out, then try it out. Drag your butt down here and get in there, and you know, we get in the area. They can only pull you in if you're within the area. So, but yeah, we got quite a few people over there. The last I heard, Victor Jackson was heading over there. I haven't talked to him. I should probably reach out and see if he ever made it. There's quite a few people who've come over to try it out and help out. And at one point, there was some sort of surge bonus that they were offering. I don't know if that's like a thing going on or not right now. Maybe that's something Paul could answer too. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. You know, it's kind of one of those things they do occasionally to incentivize it. Don't know if they're doing it or not. So don't quote me on that. Look, I don't know. Honestly, I don't even pay
Yeah,
attention.
one of the things I'll do too, like if I just get the bug to work for Opelika, I'll give them a call, see if they need help within, say, a 2-week time frame, and I'll talk to the owner operator planner and say, okay, I need to be in Opelika next Wednesday,
Right.
and they will get me within striking distance of Opelika. So any of these accounts that you guys build relationships with that you like to work with, it doesn't matter where you're at. If you're like, hey, I want to go over there to what's that one in New Mexico that guys like to run?
Los Lunas? No.
Los Lunas? Is it Los
Maybe.
Lunas? It's lost something, I think. Anyway, everything's lost out there. Anyway,
Right.
Whether it's that one, Opelika, or the one in Missouri. I mean, I'm getting old, so I don't remember this stuff anymore. But you build relationships with these people. You like working with them, and you call them up, and even if you're on the other side of the country, use the owner operator planners, your OOC, whatever it takes. I will deadhead up to about 350 miles to work for Opelika.
Right.
Here's what's funny about these guys. They're like, oh well, let me see if we got a backhaul that you can pick up. I'm like, if you do, that's great, but if not, don't worry about it, man. And you know what? That's one of the things they actually like about me, because a lot of guys will try and bribe them to get them down there,
Right.
And I'm like, no, dude, I just like working with you guys. Don't worry about it. I'll be there tomorrow. And that's part of the relation building skills, is doing stuff like that.
Right. So Sue chimed in. Actually, it's 5:14ish right now, but the numbers will still stand really. What she's saying is so 2,500 miles at 7.5 miles per gallon, use 333 gallons, cost about $17.29. If your fuel mileage is down around 6.5, you're going to use 384 gallons at a cost of $19.96. That's $266 savings by increasing your fuel mileage by 1 mile per gallon. So that's good numbers right there, and that's like real deal stuff. I mean, that's the stuff that we're preaching all the time, and that's why I tell people, drive slow, increase your fuel mileage. What good does it do you to get to a lot of these appointments 3 hours early when they won't take you for another 3 hours? So you're going to sit there and idle for 3 hours or whatever, create more wear and tear. You're going to create more wear on your tires while you're doing 70 miles an hour. I just spoke to an individual the other day. He said, I'm going to get the new camera. And he said, just because it'll let me do 72. I said, okay, but what's that 2 miles an hour going to cost you over the year? And we kind of touched on some brief numbers, and it doesn't pencil out. It just doesn't pencil out. You're not going to get unloaded or loaded any sooner. You're not going to do any more miles for the week that way. Most of it just doesn't work that way. So, I mean, sorry, I got a squirrel. Todd said he's taking a load from Georgia to Fife during this drive. We'll set it up. So there you go. When you get back down here into the Georgia area, by all means, give them a call, let them know you're headed that way. And when you get down there, they'll be able to pull you down and pull you over into the division to give it a shot. And like I said, I'm sure they'd be grateful for it. Rosie and I are dropping out of there. In fact, we're not going back for a couple of weeks because I'm headed to Phoenix on Friday and then Vegas next weekend. So yeah, that's still happening. Several of us have reserved cases.
And so check out next week's show, because Charlie's plan is, if he can swing it, to broadcast from the little picnic area outside the Jake Break.
Yep. Either right there or right outside the driver's lounge. And yeah, so look, if you're there, pop over, come hang out. Hell, if I can figure out how to make the technology work, I'll put you on camera and we'll talk. Because and we're supposed to have Brett Stewart there, so that could be cool. And hopefully we'll get some updates on what's going on. And I'm kind of excited about it. I'm just saying. So Bryce said, why not just park the new terminal? So everything we're hearing about the new Vegas terminal is it's full of T-calls, and they will not let you in the yard if they decide it's full. Like, you can't even get in the gate. So, so a bunch of us said, the heck with it. We're just going to reserve spots at the TA just down the road from the strip. And that's what we've done. As of the other day, there was 15 reserve spots left out of their 20 bobtail spots. So yeah, people are actually reserving spots well in advance. So just saying, throwing it out there. If you're planning on going over, reserve a spot. Come hang out. Come say what's up. You know, we're not going to be at the truck stop the whole time. But you know, if you are coming in, you're going to hang out at the truck stop, shoot us a message and we'll make sure someone's around and we can come hang out and BS or whatever. Or maybe go grab lunch somewhere. You know, it'll be fun. Excuse me.
Watch all the crazies on the strip.
Right. Look, that's one of my favorite things in Vegas. I love to gamble. I do. But my favorite thing in Vegas is people watching. It is just hilarious. Oh, here's a fuel mileage one. I can't pass this one. I'm learning to save fuel. I drove last week 63, 65. My fuel expense saving was amazing. Don Carr, you're one of my new favorite people right now because everybody keeps telling me I do better if I drive faster. I do better if I drive faster. And I keep calling BS. I'm like, show me real world data. Show me a long term. Give me a whole week at 60 miles an hour and tell me what your fuel mileage is versus, oh, I did it for an hour and my fuel mileage sucked.
And so if you're on the ESA card too, you can print reports with any date range. So what you do is do your normal 70 guys and print the report for that week. See what you spend on fuel. Then, you know, start dropping your speed a little bit. And I understand too that it's hard.
It is.
Some of the best advice that I've ever heard is if you have to just use cruise control and go down 1 mile per hour every couple of days. And then before you know it, you'll be at 60 and you don't even realize it.
Right.
But so if you run that report, here's what I spent on fuel.
And track it on fuel gauges.
Also. And then do a week where you slow down and look at the difference.
Right. You should see tremendous number of changes. I can't.
I mean, you know, most of us were happy when we figured out we could save $200 on a solo operation and fuel using the ESA card.
Right.
What if you saved another $100 just from slowing down? That's $300 a week.
Right.
That's more than that's more than my daughter makes at Walmart. Just saying. So
seriously, and
I mean, you put it in that perspective. You put it in that perspective is what could you do with that money? Because the way Swift is set up is, again, like Charlie was saying, by and large, there's always those guys. Oh, I do 10,000 miles a week because I'm awesome. Okay, whatever. But by and large,
right,
the way Swift is set up, it's really, really rare when I feel like, yeah, I need to go up to 70 miles an hour.
Right.
To get a load in. And 9 times out of 10, you know what that load is, Charlie? It's FedEx.
Right.
Because you're so paranoid. You can't be late, right?
Yeah. So just for fun, I pulled up.
Yeah, those are also 10,000-pound loads, though. So
right. So just for fun, I pulled up my fuel gauges. So my lifetime has slowly been coming up from 7.08, and it's tracking part near million miles, just under, I believe. My 90 days at 7.35, my 60 days at 7.49, my 30 days at 7.81. So this came about because, one, I got my overhead done. And I am absolutely religious about this 55 thing now. I had one day where I drove 60. I had one day where I drove 70 over the last 2 weeks because I needed to meet the customer needs.
And
other than that,
you felt like you had to call me and confess, by the way.
Absolutely.
I'm doing 70, Jeff.
Yeah, it happened, like, for real, you know. But I mean, so, you know, that's my 30-day. Let me pull up. I'm gonna make this a little bigger, Jeff. Let me pull up a date range of what day are we in? Oh, we're in April, right? So we went to work. Well, I went to work in April, didn't I? Because I went to work on Friday, and we came home yesterday. So I'll put today's date. We'll hit go. So my average for that time period is now 7.97. My best fuel mileage was 8.26, and my worst was 7.6 for this week. So that's going to contribute to all these numbers moving up and changing and all that sort of thing. So, I mean, look, you know, and I mean, I can show you how bad it was, and you can see all of my fuel ups here, you know. 6.61, that was me driving fast last week. Let me pull up a few more here. In fact, I'll pull up a bunch. And you can actually see where I really had a problem. This week right here was when my overhead completely went out of whack and went completely wonky. And this 8.7 was a weird thing. It was a complete anomaly. Don't know why it happened. Again, had something to do with my damn overhead being completely out of whack. And that day, it was just phenomenal. It should not have been. But for whatever reason, I can't explain why it was. And then from that point on, you'll see that they just steadily started climbing, and the averages are going way up. So, I mean, it's just, you know, I just wanted to share that, not to, you know, toot my horn. And I know there's guys getting way better fuel mileage than that, but, you know, I have in the past seen 5s, low 6s, and those were regular for me.
Mhm.
And now it's completely out of the norm. When I see a low 6, I'm like, oh my God, what did I do? Oh yeah, I was being a jackass with 80,000 pounds driving 70 miles an hour because, well, I had to make it for the customer.
Usually it's because he's talking to me on the Bluetooth and
Yeah. My foot
Not-
sits on that pedal and I forget about it.
oh crap.
He laughs at me. It's pretty great. It's pretty amazing. But yeah, so, you know, if you guys have anything, throw it up there. If not, we'll probably wrap this up fairly soon. We're just over an hour now, so I don't want to run you guys' ears off too much. What did I just do? Oh, I shared the screen. My bad. Hey, look, that's our call thing, in case you're wondering.
Yeah,
Just
that's
thought
what
I'd
that
throw
looks
it out
like.
there. Yeah, there you go. But and there's no calls in it, but that's cool. I'm just saying.
So Don Carr, yeah, Fuel Book is cool. We used that for a while too, but we're saving more money on that card. Just
Right.
saying.
Right. So do what you can to get that Alan. Do what you can to get that card to yourself, Don, and get it funded as soon as you can. Look, we're not making anything from this. So you know, there have been people in the past who said, "Oh, you guys must be making something." No, we're not. You're getting an extra $50. The entire referral bonus goes right back to the person who signs up for the card. We get zero. We truly dig helping people, and the number of people the last time I checked was somewhere around 100 cards or applications processed, and definitely over 80 cards actively being used. So do the math, $50 a card. Yeah, I could have got money. We could have got money. Jeff could have got money. I could have got money. And that's not what we're about. We're trying to help people save more money. So yeah, definitely get that card, Don. Excuse me, card.
Yeah, I just talked to one of our members I was picking up at Costco, which I don't normally do. Yeah. Anyway, that was an interesting load. And I was talking to a young man, and he just started leasing not too long ago. And he's a member of the group, and I don't remember names, so if you're watching, don't get offended. But yeah, he's been trying to find out about the card. Went to his OOC, and they didn't really know anything about it.
I think
And
it
I
was
don't think
Smith Hayslip.
maybe, yeah.
You see how I pulled that out of the air? That was amazing.
Yeah, okay. Just pull it out somewhere anyway.
Hey,
And you know, I was explaining to him again. He's a younger guy, you know, married, all that stuff. I'm like, dude, here's the type of money that you're gonna save. Just don't pay yourself for a week and get the dang thing funded.
right.
You know, eat a week, get it funded enough so where you can at least operate for a week and save that money, and then start rolling the savings into the card each week.
Right.
I started off with $1,200 because back then that's what I needed for fuel, because
Right.
fuel was not, you know, $2,000 a gallon back
Right.
then. And I've slowly, over the last month, I built it up to $3,000. So I'm able to basically roll the weeks now.
Right.
My personal goal is to get it up to 5. That way, no matter what happens, I could fuel the truck. You know, I break down and I don't work for a week and I'm stuck in some hotel somewhere. I can get back to work and still get my discounts if I've got that money on that card.
Right.
That's the main thing, because that will help tremendously, especially when you start thinking about taking time off and wanting to enjoy it. I don't have to worry about the fuel.
See, look, that's exactly what Alan did. I went 3 weeks without pay, just enough to pay the household bills. you know,
Mhm.
so that he could get that card funded. And Alan jumped on the card actually right as I did, or right before I did.
Mhm.
And when we were first talking about it, he's one of the people we had testing. It was Matt Wright, myself, Alan, and I think that was it. Might have been one more. I can't remember. But yeah, and the savings was just phenomenal. And now he's just rolling in the dough. You know, Daddy Warbucks over here. I'm just saying, Alan got a brand new shiny truck again now, and whatever.
Mhm.
Apparently, Alan forgot he was an hour behind and just joined the show a couple minutes ago. And we're gonna wrap it here in just a minute. So there you go, Alan. Go back and watch this, see what's going on, buddy. And he
Yep.
just booked a room in Vegas for the 15th, 16th, 17th. Circus, $83 a night. Look at that. It's a good price.
Yeah, it
There
is.
you go. So I like shiny, he said. I do too, but I don't want to pay for it. You know? But yeah, so if you guys have anything, throw it up. Last call for questions, guys. Otherwise, we, you know, like always, I want to thank you. I'm gonna bring Rosie here leaning on her hand like that. Look at that. She's like, no colds.
That looks like that. Look,
Cold.
you know, Rosie, that looks like one of those classic senior pictures, like for your when you're a
Oh,
senior in high
God.
school.
Oh wait, there we go. Hey, babe,
Stop it.
come on now. But yeah, so like we do every week, I want to thank you guys for joining us, and you know, for Bryce for calling. I appreciate you, buddy, and keep doing what you're doing, man. And you guys spread the word. Talk to your OCs about what we're doing. Let them know what value you find from our group. You know, tell them about the fuel card. You know, if you can't explain it well enough to them, and they want to know more about it, have them reach out to Jeff or myself. You know, put us in contact with these people. We would be glad to talk about it. Heck, get them to call, reach out to Sue Smith at Ocala and OC, you know, one of their own people.
Mhm.
Sue is very knowledgeable about what we're doing, and you know, because a lot of what we do is just good practice, and Sue knows, she knows it, she knows her stuff. So you know, there's a source for them to reach out to. My driver leader, Dana Nelson, out of Troutdale, is more than willing to talk to people, I'm sure, about that stuff. So, you know, if your OOC wants to talk to another OOC about it, there you go.
There's two.
Yeah.
And
you know,
here's the big value with those two is that they've both been business owners in the past. Sue owned a small fleet, and Dana used to own her own freight brokerage, so they know the business. Those two, so they're just awesome. I'll say it.
I agree. Look, I mean, just seriously, phenomenal people, both of them. And they both shine in their way, and I dig it. So, you know, I'd like to be able to build some more relationships like that throughout our Swift network. There we go. And you know, so look, I really want at least one OOC that we can say, you know, this is a solid person at each terminal. You
Mhm.
know, it's like we're trying to develop, you know, relationships with some of the IEL recruiters, so that, you know, the division recruiters, so that we can say, you know, call Michelle Cantrell, because Michelle is our go-to. Michelle Cantrell is the only person I will tell anyone to talk to. It's not because I don't like anyone else. It's I trust Michelle Cantrell 100%. I
Mhm.
just do. She has never done wrong by me or anyone that I've sent to her. So, you know, and there you go. Sue said that she'd be happy to talk to your OOC, and you know, look, let's spread the word. Let's get these guys out there, and get more people involved, because the more of us working together, the better we're all going to do. I mean, it benefits Swift, it benefits Knight, it benefits each of us individually, and it benefits us all as a whole. You know, I'm just saying, we got to get together and stop the us versus them thing that has been rampant for so very long. You know, Swift is my customer. I'm here to make sure my customer's making money, because when they make money, I make money. And when I make money, this lady right here stays happy. That's right. That's my goal in life. Keep her happy. That's all I got to do. If I can do that, life is good. You dig it? So, all right, guys, we're going to wrap this. Jeff, you got any final thoughts, brother?
Nope.
How about you, my love?
I'm tired.
Yeah, Jeff had to
I'm
work
good.
all night last night. It was crazy. And then do a split. Oh, he just didn't even know how to function. He's like, oh my God, this is terrible. And he broke part of his truck. Oh my God, we won't even get into that. That's a whole nother. We're going to hear about that next week, I'm sure. So yeah. All right, guys. Once again, thank you. Seriously, thank you for tuning in and being a part of the show, being a part of our community and our families. And yeah, Don Carr said, I want to thank you, Charlie and Jeff and Rosie. My first month was profitable. Outstanding, Don. Many more months to come, many more years, a million miles to you, sir. And you guys, we'll see you next week right here on Contractors Corner at 6 p.m. That's Jeff. Dang it. That's Jeff. That's Rosie. I'm Charlie. Thanks, everybody. Be safe.
Nice.